actually works. I always like to test and make sure. I always like to test and make sure that we are actually streaming. So give me a second. Let me make sure. I'm gonna check on the Facebook. Make sure you can hear my audio. One time I was talking for like 30 minutes and no audio. So let's take a look first. Today we're gonna be talking about getting started in real estate. You know, I've been doing real estate 15 years. Started in my 20s before the recession, and I even made it through the recession with all my bills paid. Never one late payment, thank God. I don't know how in the world I did that, but oh, it looks like it is. Anyways, okay. So let me make sure there's audio. All right, cool. All right, so it looks like that audio is working. So we're gonna be talking about real estate, and I appreciate you guys if you put some comments, likes. Let me know. Unless out here online, I'm live right this minute. We're gonna talk about what to expect in real estate. I got in real estate because, well, yes, you may know, I used to own an auto shop store. Actually, I used to own a .com auto stop store called My Auto Stop. This is, during the .com bubble. And my degree is in CIS, actually. I was a computer nerd. I was a programmer. And I used to love, ever since I was a little kid, I just love, just computers. And I still love computers. I'm always on the edge of technology. So I got a CIS degree. Then I went to work for Dow Chemical. And then I found out that sitting in a cubicle sucks. It really does. I mean, it just sucks, And this is before, like digital nomads where we can go and you can travel the world now and develop software and program from anywhere. Back then, we had to actually go to the office. We had to put our hours in. Didn't matter. At Dow Chemical, didn't really care about like what hours we did as long as we have 8 hours, logged in there. So that was cool being a professional. Anyways, so I developed some software at My Auto Stop, kind of like just as a template of what I could do to earn, more projects, to develop more websites, data-centric websites. That really took off. Then I'm going to give you the short story. Then we started really picking up during the .com and selling a lot of products. Oh my God, we're selling $1,000, $2,000 in profit per day. But then the .com bubble kind of burst. This was like early 2000s. And people copied my software, drove my profits down. I was like, oh, this is just not. And I was already used to that type of money to make $10,000 at least a month. I was like, that's the kind of lifestyle that I was kind of used to. Not that it's a lot, but I was used to that at least $10,000 a month because, like I said, we're making a lot of money. But back then, we're making a lot of money. So I was like asking my friends, what do I do? I just really don't want to go behind a cubicle again. It kind of sucked. So, I had a friend, Gabriel Sylvia. He's a good friend of mine, one of my best friends from middle school or high school. And he was like, you know what, you've always been a good salesman. So why don't you go sell real estate? And I was like, real estate? That's weird. And I was like, so I started checking into it. I started finding out there's two things that are making a lot of money. Is selling houses because they have lots of big commissions, and then selling yachts. Yachts are always, for anybody who's out there right now, yachts are always sold out. They're like 6 months sold out, but there's a caveat to that, is that you have to really live near the bay. You have to live near the water, the ocean, Miami, Florida, and that. So I was like, well, back then I really didn't like to travel. I didn't, it made me a little bit uncomfortable. I just love being in Houston. So I was like, you know what? Let's go for the real estate. And it really worked out. It's one of the best decisions I ever made was getting a real estate because there's no cap on it. There's no cap on how much money you can make in real estate. It really isn't. And I loved it because sometimes I would make these $100,000 checks. I was like, wow, $100,000, and I didn't have to work for like 3 or 4 months. And it was cool. There's so much money to be made in real estate, but there's a caveat to that too, is that, as you can see, I'm a people's person. I'm an extrovert. I like to get out and move things around. I like to get out and meet people. I'm not scared to go up to someone and say, hey, how you doing? In fact, I met 2 people today at a coffee shop, 2 beautiful young ladies from New York, and just saying hi. But the thing is, there was another gentleman right next to me, and I can see it in his eyes. He just wanted to say hi. He just wanted to say something, and I wanted to talk to him kind of. I just didn't have the chance because I could see he was kind of lonely. I could tell he's introverted. He's very introverted. And those type of people do not make it in real estate. They just do not. And that's what I try to tell you right now is that, like, the things to expect in real estate is if you're not able to get outside your comfort zone, and when I mean comfort zone, is going up to someone you absolutely do not know, introducing yourself, letting them know what you do, what kind of services you provide, giving them your business card, and you're going to have a crap load of people say, get the hell out of here. And some people be rude to you. Hey, get out of here. Shut up. Get out of here. Especially in the South, in Texas. That's one thing I do have to look for. I mean, I'm proud of myself on that. I hate to toot my own horn, but, Texas, unfortunately, is very racist. I mean, we're from the South, and I'm a dark-skinned, Hispanic guy. This guy, I was trying to sell luxury homes, and I broke into that market. Because some people just seem, God, this man is hard working. I remember sitting in open houses, not even my own open house. They're not my listings. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? They were not my listings. I was just sitting in open houses doing other people's open houses because I was trying to sell $500,000, $1 million houses, $2 million houses. And I didn't want to sell to my friends that want to buy a $30,000, $50,000 house, because what is that? A $900 check? What am I going to do with $900? After taxes, it's like $500. So I wanted to get outside of the people that I knew and sell to people that are buying these 500. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anyone. I come from like very humble background. Section 8, food stamps. These are the kind of people that we know. We don't have any connections. We have to make connections. There is no like, oh, my son is doing this. Why don't he can refer you. Like, or my mom or somebody or my cousin or somebody can refer me, like. Or have friends that, like, hey, there's a guy here that wants to buy. Yeah, they were referring me business to other people that they knew, and they wanted to buy $100,000 houses. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just the fact that I wanted to sell luxury homes. Well, let's just go back and let me rewind a little bit. I'm just giving you my spiel about how things are. By the way, let me look for any questions here. See here, sometimes I get these chats. Let me see, and I missed these questions. Restream, I'm on chats. Take a look here. I love talking about real estate. I mean, that's just my thing, Let me take a look here. Chats, video scheduler, events. I got all kinds of chat app. But right now we're streaming to about 10 different areas. Twitter, different Facebook pages, Instagram, all types of things are happening right now. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Alright, so anyways. Also, some things to look forward in real estate. It's going to be a little bit more difficult than you think. So, if you're not able to go up to some people that you absolutely do not know and introduce yourself and actually offer your services, this probably is not the right type of business for you. And you're going to have to do some soul searching. You're going to have to do some soul searching to see if this is something you really do. And I'm not trying to discourage you at all. I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm just kind of like, this is what real estate is. And because I'm a real estate broker, I mentor new realtors every day. Every day I have realtors that come to me that want training. They don't know how to generate business. They don't know how to get new business. They don't know how to do work or sphere of influence. They don't know anything about their database, social media, branding. They don't know anything about it. So that's what I do. And some people, this is the first thing that I always kind of like, okay, here's a couple of lists. I want you to call them, introduce yourself. They don't know them. And if they do it, then we'll go to step 2. Because the reason why is if you can't do any cold calls, then this is not really the right business for you. We do a ton of cold calls. We do a ton of, introducing ourselves, door knocking, going to network events, and coming up to people and working a room. And that's just so important because these things snowball. The type of people that you meet, all the time, it's going to just like one person can really change your real estate life. I can actually vouch for that. I met a guy named Abraham Etar. He's passed away recently. God bless him, his family, his son, his new kids. That it's unfortunate. He just passed away, but he was when I owned the auto store. He came in with his Ferrari. He had a yellow Ferrari convertible. He came in, and I was just like, wow, I've never seen a Ferrari before. Really, I remember that. I never seen one. I seen one in movies or something. This was in 2000. He comes in with this yellow Ferrari, and he just introduced himself. He has Prestige Collision in Hillcroft. He worked on a lot of my cars. He worked on Mercedes, my G wagon. He took care of me extremely. God blessed me. I mean, that man. He was actually like a role model to me, and I didn't even know that, because when I think back, he inspired me. Oh, he inspired me because he was an immigrant. And I was like, wow, this man did it. And he comes from kind of like the background that I come from, humble. But he did it. So, anyways, that's a whole nother story. But real estate, it can be tough at sometimes. It really can be. So, the day in the life of a realtor, what do we do in real estate? Let me take a look here. Like, what do we do in real estate every day? So you're going to start your day off. You have to have a set routine in place. It's super important to have a routine in place when you start off. In the morning, I like to start off with some stretching. I like to eat some granola, some yogurt, keep it light. I do my stretching afterwards, have a cup of coffee, sit down. I review my pipeline. And what a pipeline is we're going to be working with a database. And so you'll have some people in there that are like prospects, some people that are going to be maybe buying some properties that you have talked to in the past. They're going to be warm, cold, and hot. So going through our database, you have to start defining what calls you're going to make. Such as, I'm going to be calling my warm calls today, and then I'm going to be setting up my follow-ups and tagging these clients and staying organized. It's super important when you're working in real estate. You have to stay organized, because if without a database, you won't know where to go from. We're going to be putting information in constantly. We're going to be feeding that database so that you can stay organized. And now you're like, Alan, I don't know that many people, so it's not really a need for me it's not really a need for me to have a database. It really isn't. But the thing is you're going to be growing. As long as you're following the plan that I have, or you have another plan, maybe with Keller Williams, Remax, we all kind of follow the same kind of plan, because we've been in the business for a long time. And that business is treating real estate like a business, not like a hobby or not like a side hustle, but treating it like a business. And so that means having new leads come in all the time, cultivating those leads over a certain time period. We're talking about 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years. And we'll be cultivating these leads over time so that they can not only buy property from us, but actually refer clients to us to buy properties. Real estate, we're in the long-term business. Yes, we're going to be looking to we're going to be looking to hunt so we can get paid now, but we're going to be doing a lot of farming. What I mean by farming is having leads and generating the leads, and then cultivating the leads so they grow into a nice client, and we pluck that client, have a commission check. And then that it just grows and pass more seeds, because they're going to be referring business out to you. That makes sense. I hope that does. That's what real estate really is about. But I have to, I always like to tell people that real estate, it's not easy. You have to understand you're going to be doing a lot of cold calling. You're going to be doing a lot of door knocking. You're going to be spending a lot of money up front. You're going to be spending, at least I offer the course for $397 to get your Texas real estate license. It's the cheapest on the internet that I know of. $397. You do it online. It's 18 days or less. It doesn't take a lot. As long as you don't have a felony, or if your felony's not some type of fraud or something. If you have like a DWI from 10 years ago, that's okay. Or if you had some kind of little bitty small thing on there many years, that's okay. But you have to get that approved with the Texas Real Estate Commission. You don't need to have a car. You don't need to have insurance. Those things do help. We have a couple of questions here. She goes, do you have to have a fancy car? Cheryl here from the Houston Heights says, do you have to have a fancy car? No, in fact, I drove a used BMW X5 that I bought for $10,000. I drove the crap out of that car. It was just a clean little car, nothing fancy. There's no dents in it though, and I kept it clean. It did have air conditioning. It was reliable, although the back trunk did not want to close all the time sometimes. So you do not have to have a fancy car. You don't have to have insurance. Your broker will have insurance, what they call um, I don't know, some kind of insurance that we have to have. I forgot the name of it now because I'm on the camera. We're going live. Oh Jesus. So yeah, you don't have to have any special insurance. It doesn't take a lot to get your real estate license. Only 14, 15 days. And like I said, it really helps that you understand that you're going to be. You need to try. You would need to try to make yourself an extrovert because we're going to be trying to meet people that are outside your zone. I know a lot of people think, "Oh, Alan, I've seen the movies on on Hollywood and California, and I'm going to make $1 million." And those people come and go. It is like so much more work than I expected, and it's so true. It's not like that. So real estate, just like any other professional service or brand, it's subliminal marketing that we do to take the presence of a mindset of our clients. And what I mean by that is we can't shove it down people's throats that we sell real estate. That's something you can learn from me from my mistakes is that I was shoving it down people's throats that I wanted to sell houses, but that's not really the way it works. The way it works is subliminal messages, like calling people. Hey, I'll give you an instance. Calling somebody up. Hey, Robert, how you doing, bro? How's life, man? How's the kids? What you been up to? I haven't seen you around. Oh, by the way, did you know something that's going on in Houston or something's happening in this city or its neighborhood? Did you know there's going to be a big parade, or did you know they're doing COVID testing over there for free, or did you know there's going to be a flash flood warning? You need to tuck some kind of valuable information. And then at the end of that conversation is where you should say, hey, by the way, Fred, I depend on you. I don't know if you know this or not, but I really depend on people like yourself to, refer business to me. If you happen to know anybody in real estate, I really appreciate it. Put that out there at the end. There's no reason to keep bugging him. Have that nice conversation, then put that at the end. You don't want to be a bugaboo. So, in essence, what you need to be doing is you need to be giving valuable information. You need to be giving valuable information to these clients that are relevant to that client, so they feel like they got a little piece of information. When they left you, whether it's an email, a text message, or a conversation with you, they need to be able to leave with a little bit more information, a little bit better than whenever they came in contact with you. You also, another point that I like to make is that you need to have a good attitude. A good attitude goes a long ways in real estate. So, in fact, in any business, any kind of service, if you're not feeling good, don't do your calls. I mean, if you're not feeling good, that one day, you need to be calling, you need to have this happy look, you need to be smiling. In fact, there's a couple of tricks that I have that to put you in that mindset to that people can hear and they want to talk with you. They want to be around you because you have that positive energy. Positive energy attracts. It's attractive. People will love being around me. Because number one, we're going to be in a car for like 10 hours sometimes. I've done it before. Looked at 40 houses and, over the weekend. So we do 20 houses a day, no problem. So that's some things to look forward to in real estate. What is some, first thing we do in the morning, we look over our calls. So, define our calls that we're making, make the calls, tag them, and then schedule follow-ups. Then we have some other calls to do, like going to our farm area, in which we have to start looking for listings. So listings are leverage. So that's what you really want to do. You want to be pushing for listings. You don't want to be on the buyer's agent like I was doing for my first few years. It's fine, but you do want to start getting your listings together. So you need to make a point of reaching out to your farm area. And the farm area is an area, preferably two areas that you really specialize in. I specialize in the Heights and Montrose area. And by specialties, I know that area like the back of my hand. All the little subdivisions that are going in there, some construction that's happening, some of the builders that are going in there, the different price points, how much lots are going for, just lots, just land value, what are different lots for and like in Cottage Grove, Timber Grove, all these different areas, what the average square footage of the lots are, the average square footage of homes, average bedrooms, bathrooms, all the bungalows. I need to know all these things real fast, and that's my farm area, and it's the same thing. You have to understand these things before you get, you choose your farm area. You're going to be the master of those areas, and you're going to be giving relevant information to those areas. It's super, 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 super important so that you can really master. You should, if somebody comes up to you, oh yes, over there in Montrose area, it's about, it's about 120 square foot for the lot. If it's an '06, or if it's, oh, you got a 3 or 4 story, okay, then let me see how much square footage you got. Okay, that's about 650. That's a good estimate, or maybe up to 725, something like that. But it takes time, it really takes time, but it's good to know to start scheduling, to start, as a realtor, you have to start defining your farm area. You just can't just be working all over the world here, just like, I did that too. I know you need to make a paycheck. I know when you first start, you have to put food on the table. I know you got the bills, and I know you putting $3, $4, $5,000 up front, and you've got things coming. You've got to make money, but these are some things we're going to have to do to make sure that you survive, so that you can thrive in real estate. And bringing that back up one more time is this right for you? Is real estate right for you? Are you an extrovert? Are you able to get out of your comfort zone? Are you able to call? And this is something you're going to have to be honest with, about yourself. You're going to have to sit down and, you don't have to sell me. This is something where you're going to put thousands of dollars on the line. You're going to be putting hours and hours. It's like, is this passionate? Am I passionate about this? Because if not, you can get into other things in real estate besides becoming a realtor. You can come in an inspector. You can come in an appraiser. You can become a loan officer. You can work for the title company. You can do loans. You can do commercial loans, investment loans. You can do residential loans. There's so many things. You can do a processor. There's so many things. What do you really want to be? Where's your sometimes you just need a little bit of enlightenment. Maybe you need to talk with some people to see what other fields are available in real estate besides being a realtor, and there's a ton of them. Being a realtor is where you're going to have to be able to take some punches to the stomach sometimes. What I mean by that is sometimes it's going to hurt. Sometimes you're going to work a deal for 3 months and it's going to bust at the closing table, and you don't get paid zero. We only get paid if it's funded and closed, not if it's 99.99999% closed. No, it has to be 100% closed. And sometimes you're just not going to get paid, and that's just the way it goes. Sometimes somebody will walk away from the closing table, and it happens a lot of times. Maybe some water. Hold on. Yeah, so I've been in those type of deals before and he just got reminded about it too. He just called me up looking for some more properties. It was a $2 million deal, and I worked like 5 or 6 months on it. I mean, hard. I worked on that thing hard, and at the title company, he just decided, him and the owner just got at it, and I was trying to calm them down, and just couldn't do it. And so I lost that, $60,000. I'll tell you another one is where another lady, I found a deal for a lady when I was barely getting started. And, I found it, I presented to her, showed her the property, her and her husband. And then they just said, I don't want to buy a house. Well, the agent for the house went around me, called him, did like an undercut. I was so new, I didn't know. And it just cut me out of the deal. So I lost maybe $15,000. That's $350,000, maybe $400,000. I forgot. So it's hard. Real estate is cutthroat at times. It can be cutthroat, and that's something where I say, be prepared sometimes to get punched in the nose and the throat and the stomach, and you just have to dust yourself off. You can't get focused on it. You can't sit there and cry about it. You have to be like, okay, I'll get on the next one. I'll get on the next one. You have to laugh about it. Say, I'll learn from my mistakes. And a lot of times, I don't get a contract with my clients. I don't get a contract with them most of the time. Like the representation and listing. Listing agreement I do, but buyer's representation agreement, no, because I usually do a great job, and they want to work with me. And I find that the Texas Real Estate Commission, they always go on the sides of the buyers. Most of the time, if somebody has a problem, It's just not worth it. Just let them out of their contract. It's not a big deal. You don't want to fight over it, but 99.999% of the time, people are good natured and they understand. They see you working hard. They see you giving them reports. They see you showing them new properties. You know, you're doing your job as a real estate realtor, and they're like, yeah, they're people in essence are good people. And yeah, of course, you're gonna run across that. I know you're gonna run across an asshole sometimes, and that's just the way it goes. He's gonna want to cut your commission, and sometimes it's better just to take some commission than none, you know. And you don't want to like get into an argument. You want to get an argument over a commission check, because it's just not worth it. You know, it really isn't. I'm not gonna fight over it. I want a client to be happy, and that's something I think you should, learn from me is that I've had some realtors before in the past would fight over commissions, and I'm like, dude, it's not worth the complaint. If the people feel like if they're not happy with your service, let them out of their contract, because all that's going to end up is that it's going to be complaint under your realtor license, and it's going to lead to a lot of problems. Of course, I like to step in, like, sir, what is the problem? How did the realtor treat you? Did you do something wrong? And I can assign another realtor to you and try. But at the end of the game, at the end of the situation, if the client is not happy, just let them out. Because, like I said, sometimes people are just upset, or sometimes they just don't want to do business with you, and that's the way it goes. What else is there? Okay, so falling down and getting punched in the gut is a part of real estate. It's a cutthroat industry, and I think a lot of times it's because there's so much money on the line. We're not talking about, a few $100s, when people are already cutthroat for that. We're talking $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $60,000, $100,000 commission checks. So yeah, it's cutthroat. This is not checkers, it's chess. It's strategic, and that's something that you're gonna have to understand, is that when you get in this real estate industry, just because you have a lot of followers and fans, and you have a lot of people that you know, and you have a big family, does not mean you're gonna sell a lot of houses. It does not mean that at all. It doesn't mean you're gonna sell a lot of houses. The reason why is that real estate is built on a subconscious referral level, subliminal level, and what I mean by that is that people have been in the real estate industry for 10, 20, 50 years, and they already have been advertising to you, the people that you know, and so it's very difficult to take over the mindset of that service inside the brain of the people that you know, because it's so instilled in there, just like Coke or Pepsi, just type like Farmers or Geico. I mean, there's realtors that have been advertising to the people that you know for years and years and years. And I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm just letting you know that it's going to take time, and you're going to have a lot of times where you called your uncle or your aunt or your friends, like, hey, I'm just checking on you, seeing what's going on. And they're like, oh man, I forgot, bro. Oh, you have a real estate license. I just bought a house. And it's not their fault. It's just the fact that other realtors have been advertising them in a subliminal and a subconscious level for many, many years already. And if you're not on top of your game, if you're not on top of your real estate marketing and branding, then be prepared to be calling some of your family and the closest friends and family, and they will actually buy houses from other realtors, because like I said, other realtors have been farming them for years and years and years. So you have to be on point. It's something that, especially like the Houston Heights and Montrose area. So like, I've been farming this area so long, but even when I don't do my calls, I got 3,600 buyers on 3,600 buyer list, ready to go, always looking for properties, and about 4,000 for Montrose. I got their numbers, phone numbers, email addresses, what they're looking for. But still, when I don't contact them and send them the newsletters, they forget, like, oh, Alan, I just bought a house, shit. And I'm like, dude, don't worry about it, man. There's plenty of business to go through. There's plenty of business. It's not to be upsetting about. It's nothing personal, and sometimes maybe a realtor's better than you. Maybe a realtor just on top of his game. Maybe he's on it. Maybe he's bringing off-market properties. I do that all the time. I've stolen clients myself because realtors are slacking. I remember calling this lady. I think her name was Saeed. No, her name was, I don't know, forgot her name. But I remember I called her and I was doing open houses in '03 and 77003. Also for Clay Road, 2722 Clay Road. I remember. And I called her one Sunday, and then she's like, "No, I already have a realtor." It doesn't matter. I was like, I don't take it personal. I'm like, I called her, I think on the next Wednesday, and she's like, no, I think I told you I had a realtor already. Thank you, I appreciate it, but no, I already have. I called her the next Sunday, and I was like, hey, just checking on you. Hope you're doing well. By the way, there's another house here. Just even though you have a realtor, she goes, you know what? My realtor's not even calling me. And you know what? I don't even know where my realtor's at. Do you want to go look at houses? And I'm like, yeah, totally free. It was a $400,000 house. I think she got married, and then she had a kid, but she sold it. And it's just a cool story. And even my other friend, but he's a friend of mine now, Kevin Baker. Another guy, just a great story because I called him on a Saturday about 8 o'clock at night. I remember the exact conversation. He was like, dude, it's 8 o'clock at night. Why are you calling me? And I'm like, dude, I was just calling Kevin to say, just let you know there was another. It was back when we had a lot of foreclosures. There's a foreclosure just hit the market. I know you had a realtor, but I just want to let you know it's out. He goes, you know what, dude, I'm in sales. I'm in medical sales. That's what he told me. And he goes, you know what? Let's go look at that house tomorrow, dude. Fuck, let's just go look at it. Guy bought the property. Me and him are still friends today, and I think it's a funny story, right? This is like kind of a little bit of funny because it's that one that you can't take no for an answer, kind of. It's like you cannot. People hang up on you, can't take it personal. Just keep calling, keep giving them service, and there's a lot. I just love taking those clients away from realtors that don't work, especially when there's a lot of money on the line. Let's be hungry for money. It's not like this is not like something you can get into real estate, and you're not like, oh, I have plenty of money in the bank. I really don't need to make any money. This is probably not going to be the right industry for you. Being in real estate, you got to be hungry for money. And then like being willing to do stuff that other realtors won't be able to do, like going live. I've had a couple of classes I remember being sold. I think for fix and flipping real estate, and I think I sold a few wholesale classes in the last couple of months because I would talk about the wholesale class. The wholesale class and going live. And I think it's a cool thing, doing things that other people are not willing to do. Whatever service that you're in, I think it's super important to do things that people are not willing to do. Like this, do cold calls, do text blasts, I made some calendars one time. I custom made some calendars about fitness because I love fitness, and I would hand these calendars out. And so I was like, my idea was the calendars would sit there, and it had my phone number on there, and it had some great fitness tips. And it had my phone number there with my logo, and all year round, people would look, and so if they needed, that's what was. I was like that, so I printed out like, I don't know, 500 calendars for maybe like $1,000, like $2 each. It was not that expensive, but these are things that you need to do, and also you need to like buy these little things. You can buy some things off of Harwin, like you can buy them in big lots, so like wholesale. So like you can buy, like I said, the little calendars. You can buy business card holders. You can buy like the candle holders, things that you can give to people, because when you give, people automatically want to reciprocate. They want to give back to you, and the way that they're going to give back to you is you're going to be asking them for referrals. You're going to be asking them how. If you happen to know someone really looking for a house to buy or sell, send them my way. I appreciate it. So that's some things to look forward to in real estate. Now, let me see if you have any questions here. You got any more questions? See here. I'm going to type one here. Any questions? Let's see. Man, my throat is a little bit dry. I'm talking all this time. By the way, I'm picking up my mom tonight from the airport. I haven't seen her in about a year, So I'm super excited. Hmm. So I've been in real estate for 15 years, and I love it because there's really no cap on it. There's, you know, you want to make $1 million, there's a plan to make it. Now, do you want to put in the work? That's a whole nother thing, you know? That's what people don't want to do. And of course, there's going to be some things to look forward to as far as, you know, getting started in real estate. You're going to need, of course, you need the class. But besides that, you're also going to need to get your web page going, Facebook page, get your Instagram going. You're going to have to start setting up some campaigns for you know, through Facebook and Instagram, even TikTok, because I hear they're gaining traction. You're going to have to put an email campaign together, and you have to do that through your CRM. You're going to have to get your website going and get your logo set up. You're going to take some, you know, you're going to take some professional photography, you know, photos of yourself in a business suit. You're gonna have to really be different. And the reason why is I think that in real estate, it's super competitive. And it's about looks. It's about how you present yourself. If people want to do business with people that they feel comfortable with, you know, they want to be comfortable. They want to be able to trust you. Is this man, is this woman going to be able to provide the services that I need? You know, so some things to look forward to. I don't see any questions here, but I hope that I answered a lot about real estate. And so I'll see you guys on the next one.